not going to talk about Raw Underground unless anybody wants to, because Ryan and you talked about that. You and I talked about that on the bonus podcast we did on Tuesday.
We did?
We did a pod. You don't remember that? Fair enough.
Can you give me like a 1-sentence synopsis for those who didn't listen to the live show on Tuesday? Count Tuesday.
To be determined.
Too
early to tell.
Yeah, I think it's solid. Yeah.
Okay, because I do have a couple. I have a little bit of thoughts.
Okay.
Mine's more so.
Go ahead.
On the lines of the independent wrestling community.
Okay. Go ahead.
More specifically, dealing with the my friends at Chikara. A lot of people on the internet, as soon as they saw Shane McMahon in an empty ring with no ropes in a dark area, they immediately connected it to a thing that Chikara created in its last year of iteration called the Crucible, which was a really unique, interesting, independent wrestling storyline. And the person who basically was the spearheader of this really took himself to task and felt really crappy that it kind of all got taken by the WWE. And to that, I'll say this. Yes, it sucks, but there's an old adage that says there's nothing new under the sun.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm not one to downplay anybody's personal experiences, but I've had some of my ideas taken by WWE. Like a month before MVP debuted, I had my idea in a wrestler who was corporately sponsored and was basically the embodiment of the NFL wide receiver who was a diva, but he was a big millionaire and like all that stuff. And then MVP shows up. But also the no ropes dark area thing is Bloodsport. It's literally like
It's
even
not
that idea has kind of been done. There's more to it than what we know. We don't know exactly what it's going to be yet, but I'd like for it. I'd like to see more of it. I would have liked to have seen the whole last hour of Raw been dedicated to the Underground, as opposed to cutting back and cutting away and cutting back.
Or even if you don't want to have it be the whole hour, have it be the last half hour. Like take it over at 10:30. Because I think as we talked about, Ryan, it was I think it was like the last 15 minutes like total of the last hour was dedicated to Raw Underground. So just have
the only problem with doing the final half an hour is if it's not your cup of tea, you click off and you miss those viewers. So if you go back and forth, you have to sit through it if you want to just finish Raw.
Also, though, how interesting would it have been for the whole last hour to been Raw Underground, and Shane McMahon does his tease at 9:30, and it's also related to the wrestlers who were backstage at Raw. It's like, hey, Raw Underground starts in 30 minutes. Come see what it's all about. And then the Viking Raiders show up and Eric's looking for a fight. And Dolph Ziggler swings through and sees the end of a fight. And he wants some. And you actually show, I forget what his name, what they called him, but Babatunde.
Dabba-Kato.
You have Dabba-Kato show up and Shane's like, somebody's got to fight him right now. And then the Hurt Business, like what they did with the Hurt Business is exactly what I wanted like a whole hour of Raw to be.
Well, it's a great cliffhanger for next week.
Yeah, they find out what it is. I also saw somebody compare WWE or Raw Underground to live action Def Jam Vendetta, the video game.
Okay.
Where that would be pretty cool too. But like, I still want more. Any way WWE can give me something different in the asterisk era, then
Sure. And that's the thing. Like, and I agree with Charlie, and I said it on the on Tuesday's show. Get rid of the go-go dancers or the strippers or whatever, because it just, that felt so out of place, especially in like today's WWE. Like it, and I get like it's supposed to be different and, you know, Raw or whatever. Like, but it just, that, and it was like just these weird cutaways to like these poorly dancing women. It was, you can lose that sector of it, and I'll be totally fine with it. But, you know, he said save the Hurt Business till next week. No, I think that was a great cliffhanger to get us more interested in what Raw Underground will be next week. But yeah, I'm fine. Like I said, I didn't hate it, didn't necessarily love it. I want to see more of it and see where it goes from here. I hope it's not one of those things WWE tries for like 2 or 3 weeks and then it just disappears and never comes back. Like, I hope they actually have a little bit of direction to it. But like I said, I am curious.
One more thought.
Sure.
What, offhand, do you think Retribution is going to be a big deal, a little deal, or no deal?
The faction, the new faction?
The faction that has now been officially named Retribution.
I hope it's a big deal. I mean, if you announce it ahead of time, you have the quick, you know, security cam footage that if you weren't necessarily like paying attention, you were like, did I miss the faction? And then the next day they come out and it's Retribution. I hope it's a big deal. Like, you know, and the word on the street, depending on what dirt sheet you want to believe this week, is that WWE is looking to be have more factions like they did in the late 90s. So hopefully, you know, that the Hurt Business, there's a faction in NXT that could always come up and make some noise on Raw or SmackDown. Like,
Nope, they're breaking up.
That's right. Well, maybe McAfee will be the new head of the Undisputed Era when they come to the main roster.
Or the Undisputed Era does a 4-on-1 job on Pat McAfee and then goes to Raw or SmackDown.
Or that.
What does that do? Beating up an NFL punter? What is that going to do? Rocket you to superstardom? He's a punter, for Christ's sake.
No, McAfee.
It's a no-win situation.
McAfee punts all of Undisputed Era, picks up the win, goes to the main roster for the punt versus punt match because Randy Orton is the legend killer, and he would have to take down McAfee. He's the only one on the main roster who could do it.
Great point, Matt. Book it.
There you go. Perfect. I think it's just been booked. There you go, WWE. You can have that one.
We'll all remember it.
But yeah, I hope it's a big deal.
I hope that we see. I was just looking up Bloodsport because I always enjoyed those shows. Obviously, worked shows presented as shoots. I think you need to look at them if you're the WWE. Utilize. I mean, Matt Riddle. The first one was named after Matt Riddle. Was Riddle's Bloodsport. Riddle, Walter, Timothy Thatcher, Killer Cross, all of these guys competed at Bloodsport. So, you know, I'd love to see NXT talent up and down. I think this needs to be fluid. It doesn't just need to be Raw talent.
Here's the thing.
Competing in this shoot style presentation.
I hope the end game, and it won't be, but I hope the end game of this is Matt Riddle versus Brock Lesnar. That's where I hope we get it. We're not going to. But
I'd take it.
Like, it would be cool. It would be different. It's and I think that's the thing that the reaction to it that probably ticked me off more than anything is the biggest gripe about WWE is that they don't do anything new, they don't do anything different, they don't build new stars, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then they do try something completely different. And the immediate reaction is, this is shit. Why the fuck are they doing this? Just go back to wrestling in the ring. And it's like, well, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to do something?
More WWE talents from the NFL.
I mean, you could.
Real quick on the Retribution thing. Has it leaked like who Retribution is?
No, I haven't seen any. I've seen some people hypothesize that it could be previously released talent that are being brought back. Hence the name Retribution.
The mystery, Ryan.
Right. If you look at the definition of Retribution, that it fits perfectly.
You know, so it like
Rusev we haven't seen Rusev anywhere.
No. I mean,
he's a streamer now. He doesn't wrestle anymore.
Yeah, you missed that last week. He said he's not a wrestler anymore.
Really?
Yeah, he's done wrestling.
And once it's on the internet, it's true. So
a lot happened last week, Brian, that you weren't privy to.
Man,
I mean,
never again.
Cameron fan.
It's a shame I'm going to miss next week now too.
I mean, I feel like, you know, you could have at least listened to the show to see what you missed, but, you know, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me.
Maybe it is.
Real quick before I get to the news and rumor roundup, Alexa Bliss being attacked by the Fiend last week on SmackDown Live. Love it or hate it? Ryan, Matt, thumbs up. Tim.
Oddly, my pee-pee wiggled.
Wow.
Tim going the honest route. Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe. It was like a fear boner. It was oddly arousing. Kind of. Well, Presto Strangeo.
Touched a button you didn't know could be touched.
He touched a button that I kind of thought that was turned off during these uncertain times. No. Honestly, I think it's cool, man. It's different.
Yeah.
The whole thing was different. The way it felt like a horror movie and
yeah, I mean, you know, and people were like, "Oh, you know,
talking of it."
You know, Alexa can't. I thought she acted perfectly. If all of a sudden the lights go out wherever I am and the Fiend starts walking around me, I'm probably gonna have a similar reaction because I'm gonna be pretty freaked out.
A fear boner? Is that what's gonna happen?
Oh no!
Shit, no.
Oh no!
Not now.
Oh god damn it! How did that happen? But
sit down real quick.
Yeah.
Why did I
baseball cold showers? Baseball cold showers. Baseball cold showers. But no, I did. I loved it. I thought that it's such a great way to, you know, to end the show. It's a great way, you know, and you know, I already saw people going, "Oh, well, that means she's going to end up being Sister Abigail." No. You're totally missing the point. Like, this is him
already been Sister Abigail, you dopes.
This is him getting to Braun. Devin loved it. Jason wanted me to mute somebody. I'm not sure who it.
Me.
Oh, I wanted to mute you.